This is just a little swatch I've knit here. The bottom rows, you can see I've knit every single row. That ends up being what you call the garter stitch, and you can see there's a row of bumps, and if you spread it out in between, there's a smooth row or a row of knitting. You can see the little V's. So the garter stitch has a bumpy row with a smooth row in between, and that is achieved by knitting every row. To have the smooth knit stitches on the front, that's called the stockinette stitch, you would knit all the front rows, which is what you see here, that's all been knitting, and then purl the back rows. You can see it's the exact opposite stitch. So as you're knitting the front row, you're creating a purl on the back row. And so that is called the stockinette stitch. But in order to have all the stitches on the front row be knit stitches, you're going to have to purl the back rows. So first we'll knit through this row. And you can always recognize your knit stitches by the little V it creates as you're knitting through the bottom. Okay, we're at the end of the row here. We're going to knit the last stitch. Switch needles. And now, because we want it to be smooth on the front, the knit stitch on the front, we're going to purl the back. And the purl is the exact opposite of the knit stitch. You enter the stitch from the back, from the right to the left. You wrap counterclockwise, up through the front, and off the needle. Switch hands with your needles, and you're back on the front side, and you have your knitted stockinette stitch. Now there are times when you would want the front side to be all bumpy. That is called the reverse stockinette stitch. You see how it's different from the garter stitch. The bumps are a little more prominent in the garter stitch because they have that smooth knitted row in between. When every row on the back is a purl or on the front is a purl, it is all bumps.